Hi there. In this video, I'm going to walk through three things. The first one is how to weight assignments using the MindTap Progress app gradebook. The second is how to print student attempts at the online working papers. And the third is how to batch edit availability and due dates so that you don't have to do it one by one by one. So for the first thing, I know that you had said that you wanted to have your test grades separate from your Applia online working paper grades. So the way to do that would be to go to the Progress app, the little guy in the green circle. And this usually brings you to your gradebook view, which you can expand grades and see things here. You can jump to assignments. How you can change what you're seeing and kind of group assignments would be by going to the Settings tab. So this is going to allow you to make categories, and it's really a drag and drop process. The nice thing about this is if you have other assignments that are completely outside of this in your course and you want students to be able to see their full grade or you to be able to use the gradebook fully, like for attendance, discussion, maybe other team projects that you're doing, you could add categories for those as well. But I'm just going to basically create two categories to show this quickly. I click Add Category, Online Working Papers, and I'm going to add another category for tests. And so what this allows you to do is that you have all of your assignments, everything that's possible in the course, 596 of those are under uncategorized right now. So if I select uncategorized, I can select things and then drag and drop. So I'm going to filter all of these first to just grab my working papers. And these are all of the working papers in the lesson review folders, all of the work together and on your own. So I filtered for working papers. I'm going to scroll down. I'm selecting all of these. And I just did a shift click to be able to select them all. And I'm going to drag those over to my working papers category. Now, I'm assuming that you're also including, the application problems, mastery, and challenge in those as well. And you could do the same thing. You'd just be able to filter for what you want, click, scroll all the way down, shift click, and then drag those over. Now, same thing for the tests. In this category, I'm going to search for everything that has a test in the title. I need to be under uncategorized, filter, and now. So what I could then do, because I have these in separate boxes, is that I could actually turn on the category weighting, and I'm going to make the test count for 0 and online working papers count for 100. And click Save. Okay, so now my tests are not counting in that final grade, just as you used to, unselect tests so that you could look at the final grade and see the overall score for the working papers and then enter in their tests. Now when you go back here, if I'm looking at the overall grade, it's not going to include those tests. 100% of it is going to be coming from those working papers. Okay, so that was the first thing. The second thing, how to print out student assignments. Now, you're going to be able to do that. You've seen in the grade books where if I click into a particular student and I click into an assignment that they worked on, I can remove that score, delete their attempt. You can also extend the due date for an individual student, right? It allows you from here to click View and actually view their attempt. So it's going to open up the working papers. I can get in here and I can actually see what they did. So they got this wrong and this wrong. And these things were right. So there isn't a little printer button from this view. However, if you look at it instead through the Applia app on the right-hand side, so the performance reports that were in Applia standalone live inside this Applia app. So if I open the Applia app and then I click View Performance, this is going to bring up that performance view where I can, change thresholds to different coloring so I can easily see, okay, someone is in the danger zone for me. I can look into them quickly. You can look at entire assignments or students. So if I look at this student, I say, okay, they've got a 64%. What's going on here? I want to see what they've been doing. I've selected them. When I scroll down, well, over here on the left now, it's just showing assignments for that student. So let's see. Okay. Well, they got a pretty bad score here. This is something that's not helping them. And they got a 0% here. That's really not helping them. So they probably didn't go in here and do anything, but let's just see. So I'm going to click that assignment. I'm in that student, that assignment. And now when I scroll down, I can see the individual questions. So there's technically one question in the reinforcement activity. It's multi-part. Yeah, they basically opened this and submitted and did nothing. But if I click into the question itself, and I click it here, I click into the question itself. Now this is going to do the same thing. Again, it's going to show me what that student's attempt was. But when you come through it through the Applia app, you now have your little printer button. So this was the problem, multi-part. You can see they basically did nothing. They didn't enter anything in here. But again, if they did, I'd be able to see the work that the student did. I've got my solutions down here as well, so I can quickly compare what they did with the solution. But I can also print out their attempt using this printer button, and that will print this view for me. Okay, so the way to do that, again, is to go into the Applia app. You click Performance Reports, and then you click into the student and the assignment, selecting the question that you want to look at, and then you'll be able to get in there, see their attempt, and print that out. Okay, last thing, how to batch edit availability and due dates. So you're going to do that from this view here as the teacher. You know, for the most part, if you work through these files, you can experience the class like your students, but you have some extra tools here, and that's being able to hide things, show hidden, and edit. So as the teacher, I'm going to turn the edit tool on because I'm going to work on some availability dates here. Under part 1, let's say I want to change the dates for everything under week 1, so that all my end of lesson reviews, my tests, and everything like that. Instead of clicking an individual assignment, I can click the entire week. I could click 2 chapters. You know, I could select multiple things if I want, whatever I want. I'm going to just select week 1 here. It shows me I have 22 items selected. That's including readings, it's including assignments, it's including tests, it's a whole bunch of stuff. And this orange bar pops up when I'm selecting multiple things. If I click Batch Actions, I can edit dates all at once. So I'm going to edit the dates for all of these things, and I'm going to move them all. I'm going to make them all available today, and I'm going to move that due date to next Wednesday. I'm going to give them a week. Done. Save. So now I've given all of these things at once the same availability and due date. But now let's say, okay, something happened. We didn't really have time. I need to push this week back. I need to give everyone a little bit more time. I'm going to select everything again, batch actions, edit dates. And I can actually, you know, change the dates, but I can also use Shift and either add or remove a number of days, moving them forward or backwards. So I'm going to give everyone an extra week if I do this. It's just going to push everything back a week. If I want to push it back 2 days, I can change that. You know, whatever I want to do. So you can shift that way, or you can just enter in the specific dates, either way. Okay, thanks so much. Again, thank you for your time. Hopefully the rest of the information I have in the email gives you the info you need. Thank you and have a good one.